Welcome, welcome, welcome to another beautiful episode of Empowered Conversations. Today, I'm here with Manuele, and we're going to have another beautiful conversation that has all these juicy secrets, all these beautiful tools that you can use to become your best self, your most empowered version. So, Manuele, my first question is, to start with, tell us a little bit about your journey and what got you into the path that you're in right now.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm very excited to share my heart with you and the audience. And I started on this path very young. I was very curious about spirituality since a very young age, and I practiced martial arts. And when I was doing martial arts, there was also a part including meditation. And I'm coming from a family in northern Italy, and my dad had an history of alcoholism, and my mother with depression and anxiety and chronic diseases. And since a very young age, I was being curious about the mind and how we perceive the world. I had the fortune to grow up in nature, so I had plenty of time to spend reflecting and wondering about life and dreaming. I always been very dreamy person, and at school I was always scolded because I was distracted and looking outside of the window and not being there. And but in those abstractions, I was finding solace. I was finding expansiveness. Sometimes we get so much stuck in this little box in our head. And when we allow ourselves to shift our perspectives over things, and then about 10 years ago, I became a very good friend of Raimondo Laino, is a famous hypnotist in Italy. And I started to go in the streets with him. He was doing more like playful hypnosis. So in the streets, like showing people the power of their mind and their subconscious and how they can forget their names and this kind of tricks that are part of the phenomena of trance. And I was like sharing with him breathing exercise, meditation, and we have a beautiful friendship. And he inspired me to dive deeper into the hypnotherapy path. And I in 2017, and then in 2019 I got certified, and here I am sharing.
So beautiful. Do you also turn people into dogs? Have you ever tried that?
So, like when you have a dream in the night and you're so immersed into that dream and it feels so real that you literally you feel it in your body and you wake up and you're like, oh my god. That's what happens when you dive into yourself. I don't see, I mean, I see the playfulness of doing these things, but I'm more inclined to work on an empowerment way that can include playful ways. So for example, I remember once I did a hypnosis with a guy that wanted to have more confidence, and I made him connect with the Rocky Balboa that was inside of him, and he liked box. So I imagine, oh, he likes box. Let's align him with Rocky Balboa, and that gave him a boost of confidence, made him feel very empowered. Yeah, imagination has an incredible power, and we barely tap into it.
Beautiful. Thank you. So when people hear the word hypnosis, they often picture something mysterious or even a bit intimidating. How would you explain what is really, in a way, that anyone could understand? So what is it?
Yeah.
In the essence, for you?
Yeah, for me, hypnosis is the art of directing the attention. And by directing the attention, um, we get to perceive and feel what are the loops and what are the inner dynamics that we keep repeating in ourselves. And by seeing these loops and dynamics and realizing that we don't want to repeat those patterns anymore, I can help people and guide them to shift these perspectives and reframe their relationships with themselves, with their inner child, with their relationships, with the relationship they have with money, with the relationship they have with life. And so for me, hypnosis it's a way to direct the mind, and of course there are many other ways to direct the mind, and uh, some of them can be used in a playful way, but even when you listen to a song and you're totally immersed into the lyrics, and the lyrics evoke in you a certain emotion, a certain feeling, a certain sensation, that's a form of trance. That's a form of hypnotic induction. So we experience hypnosis multiple times a day, and we just don't do it consciously. We just don't do it therapeutically. But yeah, we experience states of trance multiple times. Another example that I can give is when you drive a car and you are on a highway. Imagine being on this car and the road is just rolling, and you just get lost into thoughts and connecting things and thinking of people, remembering things, and then suddenly you realize, oh, I missed the stop, I missed the exit. So where were you? You were in a hypnagogic state. Mm-hmm. You were in a state of trance where your attention was so tuned in to a specific thing that you were doing or a specific process you were into, that you lose the presence with everything else that happens around.
Would you say it's like being receptive to the information that's coming into a specific information in a way, and also kind of like for me when I see it, it's like submitting to something that's coming in, to new information, or to a certain, like really just submitting myself to it, allowing myself to be moved by that. Like if I say to myself, I'm so powerful, like that statement, if I really allow that in, that's like hypnotizing myself.
Yeah, affirmations.
Yeah, like affirmations. Like
affirmations connected with an emotional state and connected with a vision of yourself. How does it looks like being powerful? How does it feel like to be powerful? It shifts our physiology, and that creates chemicals in our body that rewires our neural pathways. It's been scientifically proven.
Yeah.
And yeah,
which I love. It's kind of like we're always being hypnotized, like in every moment, like everything that's being said, everything you're listening to, like right now, we're hypnotizing you. We're actually hypnotizing ourselves too. But that's my concept anyway. Beautiful, thank you. So, what would you say is personal empowerment to you?
Yeah, for me, personal empowerment is to reveal our gifts, to reveal our potential, to express the fullness of our essence, of our being, of our expression in the world. And we are very conditioned, like empowerment, I don't think it's something related to like society or like there is a form of like increasing your capacity to express your heart, to express your love with the world, to to be the best version of yourself. And to do that, you need to look within. Like, there is no outside empowerment without shifting inside and transforming the image that you have about yourself. There is like cases of people winning the lottery, for example, and making like millions, billions, millions of dollars, and then in the matter of few years they lose everything. Mm-hmm. Why? In my opinion, because the frame that they have of themselves, they cannot contain that financial abundance, and they just start to spend it. They don't have emotionally and mentally, they don't have a container that is able to deal with that capacity.
They're not seeing themselves, they haven't hypnotized themselves to believe that they're someone, their identity is someone who has the capacity to hold that.
Yeah, and it is also like a matter of being worthy. You know, if you win something, maybe you feel like you're not worthy of that.
And I didn't actually do anything to receive this.
Yeah, you're not doing anything, and people tend to being able to like do things that their nervous system is capable of contain and of deal with. Yeah. That's why a child, if a toy gets broken, cries and gets a big tantrum and everything. And me, if my motorcycle breaks up, I'm like, oh well, let me call the mechanic. Mm-hmm. I'm not standing on the side of the road crying like a baby, you know, because my nervous system has the capacity and the space to deal with it in a different way. And this happens with everything in life.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, you just brought back a flashback memory of when I, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't think I was doing no nervous system work, nothing. My car had broken down on the side of the road. I'm like, Whereas now it's like, I'm the same. It's like, okay, we just deal with it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So how much of our daily behavior and decisions do you believe come from our subconscious?
So,
I'll also just add in, if you're not sure what the subconscious is, maybe, we have 3 brains. Mm-hmm. I would say possibly more, but we have the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is something that comes from Gustav Jung, that he defined our mind in these ways. If you go to the Eastern traditions, there's a whole thing, but we're not gonna dig into it. If you're interested, tune into the next podcast. But I feel that the subconscious, it's the gathering of the experiences, and from the moment we are in the womb, and also the emotions of our mother, of our father, and they give a signal to our physiology to wire in a certain way, to perceive the world in a certain way. And that capacity to perceive is highly influenced by the experiences that we had. And it's also like, I like to work the subconscious with meditation and stuff like that, but I also like the somatic approach, because I think we store a lot of tensions. Maybe right now you're listening to this podcast and you're just chilling, or you're in the gym, or you're relaxing. You may feel in your body tensions, you may feel in your body, and I invite you to take a deep breath in and relax, release, let go. And there is an intelligence inside of us in this very moment that is taking care of the rhythm of our breath, it's taking care of the digestion, it's managing the thoughts coming and going, and all this is happening regardless what our conscious mind is engaging with. Like, you could feel hungry and at the same time do something else. So they say the subconscious is like 90% of, and also what is automatic, like what you do automatically. There's like an analogical way to do things where you are very like present and you do things very consciously, and also there is a way that is just in the background, like you do it automatically without thinking, and the subconscious is that space where this are. And for example, something happens in a relationship, there is a discussion, and it just happened recently to me, having a discussion with a person, and I realized that some pains from my childhood just bubbled up, and I felt these things showing up again, and I had to hold space for myself, for my inner child. And it's part of being an adult, to being able to learn to hold space for ourselves and to become more aware of our subconscious. Gustav Jung says, become aware of your subconscious, otherwise your subconscious will drive your life, and you will call it destiny. But yeah, the moment you are aware that there are currents of emotions and thoughts that happens beyond the conscious mind, and with meditation, and we're gonna talk more about it later, what I suggest, what I recommend for people to become more aware of their subconscious patterns, so they're not anymore driven by them, but they can have a say on their mind, and they can feel and experience more freedom and more peace in their life, and they feel more at peace with themselves. And yeah, and also in the subconscious mind, there is not just the traumas or the pains or the sufferings. There are also a lot of gifts, like things that you experience, and by practicing to tap into your subconscious, you can empower yourself. For example, I like to do public speaking. I'm very comfortable in being in front of a camera or doing public speaking. Many people, they feel very uncomfortable with that. So to go and find what are those emotional blocks that don't allow you to express yourself authentically and naturally, it's a way to free yourself from those patterns that don't allow you to express yourself and become the best version of yourself and empower yourself.
And what I'm hearing as well is like finding in your subconscious where you don't have those blocks, like where you've actually been programmed in a really powerful way already, whether it's like not caring what people think of you and just being able to speak publicly, or just some kind of liberation that you already have in the way you see the world. So what would you say are the most common blockages that people will have in their subconscious in terms of something they want to achieve and there's a block there?
Yeah, mainly I see like three main things. One is financially, so not feeling worthy, not feeling different blockages about financial aspects. Another one is relationship wise, so kind of like playing loops and patterns into relationship, going from one pattern, one partner to the other, and just like realizing, oh my God, I'm coming out the same loops again and again. And then another one is health and wellness, and how we like how we have habits to suit ourselves in a certain way, and these habits, they make our health not good. And also how we connect with our health, with our wellness, with the like how we can feel the best of ourselves. And health is physical, emotional, relationship, and also spiritual. So these aspects are different ways to see, and how we can reframe this. It's part of my work and what I love to do.
So can you walk us through, say someone has, here's the first one, a money block, and they come in, what does that reprogram look like?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So
what are they doing to themselves?
First of all, when I meet a person, I understand what is their main channel. Like, people may be more visual, may be more auditive, or more synesthetic, more like feeling sensations. Like, I give you a practical example, like about money. They're like, oh, I don't have enough money. They feel like a block in their body. They feel like a contraction. They feel a panic. Or other people, they see themselves in the middle of the street, like homeless. So for them, it's like more visual. The fear, it comes up more visually. So I realize what is their channel, their preferred channel. And once I get what is their preferred channel, I guide them to see what is their pattern and how it shows up in them. And then with a guided meditation and helping them to deeply relax, because relaxation, it's how we access the subconscious. By deeply relaxing, we are able to kind of like access the code that we have in our thoughts. And also I use visualization, I use breathing exercise to release, and it may be different from person to person accordingly to what is their preferred way that I find out from my experience and the conversations I have with them. But my purpose is to make them reframe that belief that they have and look at it from different perspective that is empowering, and it's not holding back anymore. Generally speaking, when I meet someone, I ask them, okay, how strong is your emotion right now from 1 to 10? And they're like 8, 9, 10. And then at the end of the session, I'm like, okay, now that we went through this reframing process and relaxation and kind of like going deep in your subconscious trance states, how much you feel that is influencing you. And they feel lighter. And or maybe sometimes they feel lighter, or something else beneath pops up. That is
something deeper that's coming.
Something deeper.
Work done.
Yeah,
interesting. So would you say there's a correlation with blockages and emotions in a way as well? Because you were just saying, like, you get them to say an emotion and they're like, oh, my emotion about this situation, about this lack of money or thing is like here. And then afterwards it's like here.
Yeah.
And so like that emotion that's just like, I don't have the thing, is actually part of that blockage as well.
So for me, in my experience, emotions are the language of our subconscious. It's how our subconscious talks to us. And the more we are able to tune in and hold space for the emotions, the more we are able to like liberate ourselves from those patterns and understand. And also, like, I like to journal, for example. Every evening I like to journal about my day, and before I go to sleep, and just pour into the paper everything that I experienced or I went through, everything that I learned about what I want in my relationships, in my life. And that's a way to kind of like reframe the emotion, because if you don't express the emotion, if you don't feel the emotion or talk about them, that's why I like the men's circles, and you've been coming to men's circles sometimes, and it's a way to speak the emotions out. And the moment you speak the emotions out and you see other people sharing similar emotions and everything, it's a way to reframe it. It's not anymore hunting you, or it's not anymore a weight on your chest that you're carrying, but it's something that you can step out of it and look at it from another perspective. And emotions are energy. There is nothing bad about emotions. There is a connection between emotions and rhythms of our breath, for example. So doing breathing exercise really help
For sure.
Release emotions, or tune in with ourselves and regulate our nervous system. And learning to do these things, it's part of adult life. Like they should be taught at school as a kids, you know, like they should be like, oh, welcome to the human life. If you want to, if you have an emotional thing, it's okay.
Just bury it down.
Don't need to bury it down, but like this is how you feel it.
It's like that was like part of what I saw, basically taught to us by like the elders when I was growing. It was just like, you just bury the emotion.
Yeah,
especially as men.
And this creates so much toxicity, because then you walk around with a pair of glasses that kind of like filter the world with that disappointment, with that anger, with that regret. And you know, when you feel peaceful, like you feel peaceful everywhere. But when you feel inside upset, or you feel emotionally constipated, when you feel like something is stuck and you're not able to release it or forgive it or let it go, you kind of like, even the slightest thing disturbs you, or you start to project things on people. Oh, that people is doing that because they, and it's all on you. It's not on them at all, you know. And
100%.
so this is important.
I asked that question purely from an interest, because I noticed that when I started expressing my emotions or releasing my emotions in a healthy way through breath, through these different techniques that we've learned, that the block, the subconscious block, the thing that I was struggling with so much, that was causing so much emotional angst in my life, would start to melt away with the emotion. It was like in the somatics, is, you know, the body keeps the score, the subconscious keeps the score of when those experiences, maybe your parents, you know, had that experience and then had that emotion, and so you learned that experience equals this emotion. And then that emotion got stored in your body and in your subconscious. And so by releasing that, actually helped remove that block too.
Yes. And the body keeps the scores. You're right.